You are about to see a few of the many encounters I have had with the Ontario Provincial Police and the Niagara Regional Police over the last few years. None of the following footage was recorded on privately held property. In all of the following videos, I was either on provincial or municipal property where I had an implied right of access. All of these locations were publicly facing and time, place, and manner restrictions are typically relaxed. Based on my experience, many comments posted on these types of videos are from people from other jurisdictions and are, by and large, logically or factually incorrect. These inattentive trolls can't or won't do the simplest of due diligence and routinely comment before watching the entire video or reading the description posted below. Not only do they regularly cite laws that are unique to their own country or state, but often they do so incorrectly. They misinterpret the law and thus misapply it. A lot of this ignorance is born out of the better than average effect, otherwise known as Dunning-Kruger. When I push back and require that they support their absurd claims with actual citations, they fail to respond or begin personally attacking me, a sign of a strong position. Please note any rude, harassing, false, or misleading comments that violate this platform's community guidelines will be removed. These videos were all filmed in Canada, specifically Ontario, and my interpretation of the Criminal Code, Provincial Offences Act, municipal bylaws are fact-specific to these encounters. While I have my P1 law license from the Law Society of Ontario, I am not currently providing legal services, advice, or guidance in any area of law because of the nature of my current employment and the possibility of a conflict of interest. This footage is not intended to be legal advice or guidance. Each interaction is fact-specific and may not apply to your circumstance. Never act or refrain from acting when directed so by a police officer based on a video you watched on YouTube. Contact a licensed legal practitioner in Ontario if you feel your rights have been violated.
How are you?
I'm great. Yourself?
Good.
Can I get your name?
Interesting front plate.
Thank you. I like it. It's quite nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you have your credentials for press?
Issued by whom? By the OPP? Do the OPP issue credentials?
No, but is that an issued plate for Ontario?
I don't believe it is. No.
No? Do you have your ownership, please?
I don't need to produce it because I'm not committing a licensable activity in the province of Ontario.
I'm asking you for your license and ownership, please.
For what
You're
reason?
operating a motor vehicle.
I'm not
You
operating a
have
motor vehicle.
constructed license plates.
I'm on private property that's accessible to the public, and I'm not driving.
Okay.
I have a lawyer who I've confirmed this with, who's actually a former OPP officer.
Right, and they instructed you to obstruct your plates.
Yep.
What's your name?
I'm just gonna go by Hill.
Hill?
Yeah.
What's your name?
I'm not going to identify myself at this time.
Why is that?
I don't need to.
You don't need to.
I don't need to identify unless I've done something that's licensable. I'm committed to the process of committing a licensable activity in the province of Ontario.
Okay.
You should know that, Chris. Come on.
Okay, well, we'll wait for you to leave the property.
Can I just get that on camera one more time? I love when I hear police intimidation, Sergeant. He doesn't like he doesn't like my my front plate. Toodaloos, officers. Thanks for wasting my tax dollars. I'm a local journalist, and I've been filming Hill, Hill.
First name?
I'm not sure if I necessarily need to give it
Why
to
you
you.
go back to your plate? So.
Sorry?
I go run your plate.
But why though? What's the cause?
Well, I'm just asking you a question. What's your name?
I'm just wondering why. Like, because you're gonna run me through
Because
CPIC, right?
I call that you're out here doing this, and now they ask me who was out here. I can tell them.
You got a call that I was before my interaction. I
I
literally
created a call because I didn't know what you're doing. You get people out here protesting.
unsub one. Just list me as unsub one.
No. Okay. Thanks for
Yeah.
cooperation.
What's your name?
I don't identify.
You don't identify?
No, you can call me unsub one.
In front of me?
Unsub one.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys will be named in a OIPRD complaint anyway, so it's fine.
Then we
Yeah.
will find out your name then.
They can be submitted anonymously, so thank you. I'm surprised you didn't get that training in your 6 weeks worth of academy
Or
work.
at least in the settlement, right?
Yeah, that will be, yeah, that's public, so yeah, you can get it then. All right, cheers.
Will you take care?
Absolutely. About 10 minutes ago, I was photographing this area
Yep.
for a video I'm working on.
Okay.
2 officers, I believe one was a sergeant, but 2 officers came out, asked me why I was here. Fair enough. I identified myself as a photographer
Okay.
within a news media outlet.
Okay.
I was here for approximately 10 to 15 minutes, after which I got in my vehicle and I drove away. As soon as the officers that were staying right here noted my vehicle, I pulled out, they immediately began pursuit, and they followed me all throughout town.
Pursuit?
Yes.
They threw their lights on and they tried to stop you?
No, but they tracked me. They effectively stalked me. I understand the definition that you see as
Okay,
pursuit.
when you say pursuit,
I
it
see
gets my heart
I
rate up a little
understand.
bit. Okay.
I presume a pursuit as being tailed or followed.
Okay.
Okay. Now, it was clear that they were following me because I made a number of evasive maneuvers, which they matched. I'm smarter than that, boys.
Well, I was just going to ask you, I guess you take those elements off your license plate when you drive, right?
Okay, so let's watch this again in slow motion. Watch how the first officer flips up his camera and tries to take a picture of my rear plate. It is covered. It's not particularly stealthy, and I even point that out to them in the clip. I'm smarter than that, boys. For this, but did he run my plate?
I have no idea. I don't think so. Where's the
Okay.
plate?
So this is what, now I have to file a fucking complaint against this officer. Just to let you guys know, my vehicle has cameras all the way around.
A lot of vehicles do nowadays.
Yeah. So I just don't want to be picked up.
You're not.
I mean, the OPP has done this to me, so I'm not.
I don't even mean to
The
be glib.
Niagara Regional
I just-
Police. I know the Niagara Regional Police have never done it.
Okay.
I'll be clear with that. They've never done it. But every time I go to Haldeman County now, OPP picks me up every time, and they do the papers inspection. They have me sit for 25 minutes, cut me loose. They don't even give me a ticket. They know what they're doing. They're just fucking with me. So I've never had that here, but I don't want it to start. Right? All right. See you in court. Yep. Okay, let's talk about some of the games that these police officers play. In the next couple of videos here, you're going to see how the police officers always try to get off camera. They try to run. They try to dodge the camera like it's the freaking Matrix. And then they'll disingenuously say, oh, look, I don't have a problem with being on camera. I'm on camera all the time. Yet they play these games. A lot of badge bunnies and fanboys of the police officers will say, well, they just need to get to be able to see your face. The camera was a meter from my face. It wasn't that. He just wants to get off camera. Sorry if you guys got dizzy there. Chris likes to play the spin around game. Police will do this quite often to get off camera as quickly as possible. you can't trespass me because someone doesn't like to be filmed, right? I mean, if you want, we can be both on camera if you want. And this is what?
Yeah, that'd be great. If you
Yeah, okay, let's be on camera, yeah. And it'll work better for the mic pickups.
So do you know why we're here?
I don't know.
So you...
Yeah, we're gonna
have you
need
been
space,
at-
right? We're gonna need some space. I mean, I'm surprised that wasn't trained. Like, it's distance is safety, right? Yeah, that's, I mean, basic policing 101.
Yeah, I feel safe.
I know, everybody's new. Everybody has a first day. Don't worry, I'm not gonna hold it against you. In the military, in police, in basic police training, they teach you that 3 things that are your friend: distance, time, and cover. This officer is ignoring that because of her bravado, her chauvinistic attitude, and she just wants to F with me. Watch how this officer scurries past quickly after running my plates through the Paris system. He just bolts. This is something that a lot of police officers do. They don't want to get called out. They don't want to get caught on camera. No footage, no content, no views. That's what the police aim for. After I just complimented the Niagara Regional Police, that's what I get. Unreal. I'm gonna need your caller number.
Sorry?
Your caller number, your badge number. Yeah.
9853.
9853. Chris, can I get yours? 9580. And yours? Okay, fine. I'll scoop it off the video later. Let's get your facts right. You never gave it to me when I asked. You offered it when you were being smarmy. Okay, fine. I'll scoop it off the video later. Hi, I'm okay. Who am I having a conversation with? What's up? What's up? Flying a kite. Yeah. Want to help? No? Then.
just asking you a question.
All right. Give you an answer.
Is there any reason why you're videotaping us?
Is there any reason why I shouldn't be or can't?
I'm just asking you a question. I didn't say whether it was right or wrong.
Fair enough. Are we done?
Can be.
I'd appreciate it.
That way, that's fine.
If this is a consensual conversation, I think we're done.
Okay.
All right.
Where's the front license plate on your vehicle?
It's located on the front of my license, on the front of my vehicle.
It is?
It is.
Seems to be obscured then.
Oh, it must be a piece of paper must have got under there while I was driving or something.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll have to wait for you to pull over the street.
Oh, that is what we call police intimidation. All right, bye-bye, Sergeant. Take care. You have a great day. Bitch. Bye. Have fun jerking your partner off.
Chad? Yeah, sure. Come on over.
Excuse me. Doing?
Good.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
No doubt. And who says the car is even registered to me? I guess I can chalk this up to another OIPRD complaint. Feel free to use the QR code.
You're more than welcome to do whatever you like.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I like being filmed.
No, hey, yeah. Don't we all? Sergeant, so he's looking at $113,000 a year plus benefits. I don't know if it's a constable. I'm not sure if it's a 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, or 1st constable. So we're looking at anywhere from 63,000 to 80,000. This is where my tax dollars are going. Oh my God, my viewers are gonna love this. Thank you, Sergeant. Your eyes look a little glazed over. Have you been eating donuts there, officer?
What's your name?
I don't identify.
You don't identify?
No, you can call me Unsub1.
Pardon me?
Unsub 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your dead name?
I'm sorry, what's my what?
Your dead name.
Dead name? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. What's a dead name?
I'm just trying to be respectful to you.
I don't know what that term means.
What pronouns do you go by?
Why does that matter?
Because I'm trying to be respectful to you.
Okay, well, you can be respectful by not interrupting me while I'm at work.
Okay.
Okay, this is one of the most patronizing and smarmy people I have ever encountered in any of my interactions with police, pleasant or otherwise. Smarmy Barbie, which she has been come to be known as on the internet, is just so gross. She's transphobic. She's just a complete ditz. Now, one of the things I want you to do is watch this footage without sound and watch her body language. That will tell you everything about how she is, who she is. Watch her little weird head bob, her smirk on her face, the way she essentially rolls her eyes. Her body language says it all. The way she tilts in her head and bobs it like that. She is just a pissed off millennial. She's new on the job and she was triggered that I didn't yield to her authority, her perceived authority that she did not have over me because I wasn't conducting myself in an illegal or disorderly fashion.
What's your dead name?
I'm sorry, what's my what?
Your dead name.
Dead name? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. What's a dead name?
I'm just trying to be respectful to you.
I don't know what that term means.
What pronouns do you go by?
Why does that matter?
Because I'm trying to be respectful to you.
Okay, well, you can be respectful by not interrupting me while I'm at work.
Okay.
First of all, absent a sidewalk, we're allowed to use the right-of-way, a boulevard. So as long as I'm within a certain distance of the center of the road, I'm allowed to walk.
But you're on private property.
Am I speaking a foreign language to you?
I'm literally just talking to you. When I'm explaining something to you, you're on private
I
property.
just told you, absent a sidewalk, you don't tell me shit either.
Private property.
I'm not. I'm allowed to.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I'm absolutely. I can't go
Okay,
past
so
that
if
sign
this
or
was-
those
if
signs.
This was your house. I could walk on your lawn if there was no road or sidewalk.
Absolutely.
No, you can't
The
do that.
city of St. Catharines, the city of Niagara Falls would ticket you for walking along the side of the road.
You can walk along the side of the road as long as you're walking not in the middle of the road.
What was I in the middle of the road?
Now you're on private property.
Not in the middle of the road, officer.
Okay. Well, do it at your own peril.
Fair enough. You're not responsible for my safety, sir.
Well, that's subject to discussion.
What's your issue, man?
No issue. I want to know why you're out here filming. That's all.
But I don't have to divulge that to you.
No, but if you're on private
And then
property,
because I didn't divulge that to you, you escalated it by first accusing me of standing in the middle of the road.
standing on a road,
And then I complied with you. I stepped off a foot onto your grass. And then instantly it becomes the crime of the century because I'm standing
did I say
on
you were
grass.
committing a crime? I said you're on private property.
Well, you said that there's something that you can do about that. And what do you mean then?
I said if you put yourself in peril is what I said.
That's not what you said.
Yes, I did. You said
That's not what
it's
you
not
said.
my responsibility if you're on the road, and I said, well, yeah, if you put yourself.
I'm out here literally. I hadn't even set up my tripod. An officer, whatever his name is, gives me an issue. So just so you can see where I am, because I hadn't even started filming yet, I came to the city of Niagara Falls to film a segment about the video I recently uploaded. And before I even set up my tripod entirely, the officer over here in the car facing away from me came out and wants to escalate this issue. Anyway, so I'm going to go back to filming my segment. I'm going to put it on a different piece of tape because it has nothing to do with well, it actually does have something to do with what I'm filming out here. But anyway, I'm going to go back to filming my segment on a separate piece of tape. Can you get her away from me? Okay, all right. So when I get up real close to you, you're going to appreciate it.
I know. I know you don't care.
During this entire encounter with Del Duca, she was never more than about a meter to a meter and a half from my face. When I complained to this other officer, her backup, her colleague, he just shrugs it off like, meh, because, again, it's not impacting him. Yet, if I got within a meter of his face, he would have thrown me against the car and handcuffed me, possibly tased me, or used some other less than lethal, but definitely violent act. Rules for thee, but not for me.
You told me to get out of the middle of the road. I stood off the road.
You're not the type of person who likes to have a conversation. I asked what you were doing, okay?
Sure, whatever.
Sure.
Throw it ad hominems and straw man. If you're not sure what that means, look it up. Google what ad hominems are, what straw man is. I'm filming. Was I shouting? Was I rising to the level of disco?
I want to know what you're doing over here. That's all.
Filming, officer, and I think we're done.
Okay. We are done, but
All right.
stay off our property.
Can I get your first name, or your last name?
My badge number is 9482.
Last name, please.
Constable's warrant.
All right.
Is there a reason why behavior is
I get hostile when idiot police officers try to abridge my civil liberties. I get hostile when idiot law enforcement try to abridge my civil liberties because they had 6 months of training. Yeah. So the OPP officer, the constable, was concerned that I might be blocking traffic. Yet, as you can see, there's an SUV over there who can't get by because there's a Niagara Regional Police SUV and an OPP police vehicle blocking the road.
Are you cold? Do you want to sit in the back of my vehicle to warm up? I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. You have no socks on and bare legs. It's kind of cold out. I'm a little cold. Are you cold? No? Do you live around here? Did you drive here? Are you requiring a ride anywhere?
I joined him across the road on the north side.
Are you just gonna ignore me the whole time? Okay. I'm just gonna stand over here. You're not offending me, by the way. I don't care if you record me. My badge is 8327 Del Duca. I work for the NRP. So what were you prior to our arriving here? You kind of touched on it a little bit. It could be part of your documentary, you explaining it to me. You don't care to? I'm genuinely intrigued. Or where can I find the video later?
Well, she can find it on CBC News. The story was the second most trending news story for a couple of days.
So if I just want to make it so this, because this is going to go straight to my lawyer. If I don't leave now, the hobbit over here is going to take me into custody, correct?
Listen, we're dealing with you with respect.
She was not respectful when she kept talking about, oh, what's your dead name? That's not respectful. She knew exactly what she was doing, disingenuous. I appreciate that there are some police officers that are bigoted. I have no reason to accuse you two. She was doing that deliberately, disingenuously, but she wasn't respectful when she approached me.
I was very
So that's why I'm going to treat her with the same courtesy she attempted to treat me with in the beginning. Dropping some transphobic stuff is just nuts. This guy hasn't done or said anything, so I don't have an issue with him. I got an issue with this guy and with the way she's been circling me and just being straight up unprofessional. So, I mean, I'm more than happy to get that bylaw. Why don't you guys tell me you're going to be arrested if you don't leave?
Just for the record, I didn't hear any transphobic stuff, so what do you do?
What's your name?
I don't identify.
You don't identify?
No, you can call me Unsub 1.
Pardon me?
Unsub 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your dead name?
I'm sorry, what's my what?
Your dead name.
Dead name? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. What's a dead name?
I'm just trying to be respectful to you.
I don't know what that term means.
What pronouns do you go by?
A lot of the times when police officers show up to the scene of a crime, like someone filming on government property, which FYI is actually not a crime, but when police show up to the scene of a crime, there's no investigation necessary. They take the call at face value, as was the case with Chris here. He showed up, he did not do any investigation. The security guard told him that it's illegal to film on this property and cited a bylaw, or said a bylaw existed that supports this claim. But actually, after my own investigation, I found out that it is not illegal to film. The bylaw that they claim was posted inside the building that governs the conduct on this particular property outlines or prohibits a number of activities, but filming is not one of them. So they can't restrict my news gathering endeavor because they don't like the nature of the footage. Again, no investigation necessary because that would be inconvenient. By default, whoever has a camera, whoever is the alleged suspect is automatically guilty. Case closed. That's how the police in Niagara operate.
Come on.
Yeah, you're on property that's owned by the city.
It's actually owned by the regional municipality of Niagara.
So this gentleman here works for the city?
Okay. Well, he works for the commissioner. He's a
So he's
privately
yeah.
yeah.
So that's what's going on.
He can't though,
Why is that?
because I am on publicly accessible property owned by a public organization, and I've committed no provincial or criminal code offense. So I'm filming a segment for my Facebook channel because a post that I shared on Saturday now has something like 100,000 views.
Really?
And I want to explain what happened before and what happened after. That's why I came here to film, because it had to do with the OPP. So I thought, I'm not violating, I'm not,
No one's here. They're locked up.
no, and I'm not going to interview anyone. I purposely came here so that there would be low traffic, so I wouldn't be impeding someone if they had meetings with CIs or victims. I didn't want to necessarily film them. So I came here after hours so that I wouldn't be.
Be just in case people start following.
You know what, to be honest, I'm so irate, I'm probably not even going to film the segment that I originally came out here to film.
Alright.
I'm probably leaving in the next minute or two.
All right.
So if you don't leave now, you were told that you told this officer, the officers here while I was speaking.
The guard, yes.
Yes, when I was speaking with the commissioner,
Uh-huh.
I was researching the legislation, so
Yeah.
verbatim I could come and present it to you so you could have a
2007-295 or trespass of property to 21A.
the one that pertains to this property right here, the
Yeah.
one that they have.
Yeah.
While I was in the process of doing that, getting that legislation to bring it to you to read, the officer came to us and said that you had agreed to leave if you provided with a trespass notice.
Mm-hmm.
So we were researching the legislation, we had yet to find it.
Mm-hmm.
We came back with the trespass notice because you had said you would agree to leave if you were issued the trespass notice. So that's why we're here. If you're asking us to cite the legislation,
No, I'm not asking you to cite any legislation. I just want to, it's either yes, no answer. Literally, that's it.
that no answer.
If I don't leave right now,
Now I'm going to go back with the commissioner. I'm going to find the legislation I was looking for.
Okay.
And I'm going to come back with it, present it to you, and then we'll take a step.
I would like to know what act, or it's not even an act, it's a provincial bylaw or a regional bylaw. I'd like to know what regional bylaw you're citing. Because, I mean, the only one is loitering. That's 2007 295. I've read it. The city's looking into it to see if they can strike out loitering because it's a ridiculous ableist bylaw. So feel free to go get the regional bylaw that you're magically quoting. Again, it's ironic because... No, but you're saying it exists. I'm not suggesting you told me a name or a number, but you're suggesting some bylaw prevents me from filming on this location short of committing any other offense.
Filming normally doesn't fall in the category of...
Well, he said I can't film here, and that's what rose to the level of trespass. I'm filming here. Because of that, I'm being trespassed. So I corrected you. I'm happy we got there. Like, how many cops do we need for someone who is doing a constitutionally protected activity on property that all of us jointly own? But what the hell is going on with 5 cops now showing up?
We don't know who we're showing up for. Right?
I realize that, but you did. You knew what, by the time you got...
No. When I showed up and then they said, you're standing out here, and as soon as I turned the corner, then I recognized. Find out from the security where they're getting their direction.
Mm-hmm.
If their direction comes from the property owner, who he's acting under the behalf of,
Mm-hmm.
then we're going to ask you to leave.
I'm not leaving until I get a TPA. You already know my name, so no point in not identifying. I'm more than happy to identify for your citation. So, because I need standing in a court. I'll take it to court.
Sabrina?
Yeah.
It wasn't the filming itself that was the problem.
Okay.
The problem was you were filming people who don't want to be filmed.
But Rob, you know that's not a thing. The officer I spoke to last week.
It's a thing.
It's not a thing.
So-
Nobody has a reasonable expectation of privacy in public.
I know they don't.
So
Okay.
we can't lock.
But-
we can't charge me with that.
Okay.
They can't trespass me for that. They can't.
But they don't want you on the property doing it.
But they can't. It's
So
not. They can't prohibit me from doing that.
You were bothering people. Okay.
That's
So
right.
speaking with the gentleman who you first spoke to,
Yeah.
he said he has no problem with you taking the bus and coming here to get off. The
I
bus.
have my phone, which is a camera,
The
with
problem-
me all the time.
I understand. The problem was with the loitering and making,
What's loitering?
like sitting here just filming people. You're not here to use the transit system. You're here to film people.
How do you think I got here?
Okay, I'm just saying.
Your purpose is obviously
But
to film.
so
Okay, that's why you have
now-
the microphone. That's why you have the stand.
100%.
Your
Yeah,
purpose
that's
is
right.
to
I
film.
got.
If your purpose to
I got
use
$4,000
transit
worth of
is to
equipment
move
here.
from point A to B, they have no problem.
This most recent encounter with the Niagara Regional Police is by far one of the finest examples of the laziness and apathy in policing that we have in 2023 and 2024. They did absolutely no investigation to find out whether filming on this public property that is owned by a governmental commission, they did no investigation to find out whether filming was prohibited by either regional, municipal, or provincial rules or regulations. Of course, they didn't, because they were afraid that if they looked too hard, they would find out, oh, wait, whoa, what's this? There are no rules that limit filming on a publicly owned piece of property. So guess what? We're just either going to play stupid or lazy, or we're just going to lie. That's what police do. Police will either lie to you because they can, or they're not going to do the investigation necessary to find out, because that would present an inconvenience should they be deposed in either an upcoming civil or criminal case. So they're just going to straight up lie to you, and they're going to abridge your civil liberties because they're hoping that you don't have the resolve to take this further. They hope that you don't take this to the OIPRD. They hope you don't take this to court. So they're going to abridge your civil liberties, hope this will go away, and mission accomplished, they win. But in this particular case, I will take this to court. I will fight back against their abuse of their perceived authority. This is unbelievable. Like the fact that these police think that they can get away with being either lazy or stupid or just liars. I mean, it's A, B, or C. And I appreciate everyone who has reached out to me and supported me over the course of this crazy set of circumstances.
Because people caught feels I'm being barred from this facility, with the exception of taking a bus to and from somewhere.
With the exception of using it for the purpose that it's intended to be used for. Yes.
This is like, I didn't realize this was a constitution-free zone. I honestly had no idea.
I'm not going to get into Section 2 arguments with you. You're obviously
It is
going to
ridiculous.
go to the
Yeah.
court date. You were talking about an OIPRD complaint. Do you need any information?
Oh, no, I've filed many OIPRD
But
complaints.
you have my name badge.
I'm just wondering, is this normal procedure, normal protocol for an officer to follow a member of the media because they don't like what I'm doing?
No, what I'd suggest to you is that we often follow vehicles and run plates to see if.
I'm just wondering why my plate was run.
Let me answer
Okay.
the question, please. We often follow vehicles and we run the license plates because we have computers in our car.
I understand
So
that.
we're checking for
A number of my
registered owner.
family members are police officers.
Okay, so you understand then, we're checking to see if the vehicle's licensed properly, whether it has a valid sticker, whether the driver or the registered owner is a suspended driver, anything like that. Sometimes there's delays in getting that information back, so we'll stay with the
I
vehicle
understand.
until we get that information
I
back.
understand basic
And if there's
procedure.
nothing that comes up that sets off an alarm bell with us, like there's no, the registered owner's not suspended or anything, and the plates are valid and everything else, then we don't
So,
bother stopping the
I guess
vehicle.
fair enough. Then I'm just wondering what triggered those two units to follow me in particular, not this white truck, not the dozens of vehicles I've seen pass up and down. None of them got out in their vehicle and sped to catch up to me. They sped up to catch. They didn't say, "Oh, that vehicle looks like it might be out of code."
Right.
My vehicle is not out of code. I check it daily, in fact, to
Yep.
make sure that, because this has happened to me before.
Okay.
So to avoid getting ticketed for a burnt out light,
Sure.
failing to yield, expired tag, expired license, I make sure that all of that is maintained,
Yeah.
because I don't want to give them cause to search my vehicle.
Fair enough. I understand
I'm just
that.
wondering what triggered that. Instead of using pursuit, what triggered that to be followed by two units?
There were two separate cars following you?
Yes, there was.
Okay.
In fact, one of them, I have them both on camera because my entire car is rigged. I haven't looked at the footage because I have to go back to my computer. But in fact, one of them, who's sitting in the lobby right now, has a dark beard. He was one of them. I could clearly see him.
Okay.
His beard was distinguishing. The other was another gentleman who also had a beard, but
Yeah.
it was less noticeable. I couldn't quite make it out.
Right.
But I'm just wondering what triggered that particular
Watch out, there's a bee there.
following me.
I don't have an answer to that question.
I know. You probably didn't order them out.
I can tell you I did
know.
not.
I know. But I'm just wondering if they were under orders to pursue me from their CO, or they just did it on a whim because they didn't like me filming.
Well, I don't have any. I can tell you what I know for certain is that nobody ordered anybody to do anything.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm just a little
That's-
bit concerned that if CHCH or City Paul, CP24 showed up and they parked here legally
Right.
and they were filming for some stock footage for either B-rolls, background,
Sure.
whatever,
Yeah, I understand.
would two marked cruisers, patrol units, start following CP around or CHCH around? Or is it just for people that they don't know, that they don't necessarily trust, that doesn't necessarily play access journalism? I'm just wondering.
I don't know how to answer that question for you.
So I'm just wondering if, who is the CO for those particular officers? Again, I can't identify the second one, but the first one has a dark, distinguished beard. I'm just wondering if because I don't even want to speak to him,
Yeah.
because he's not necessarily going to give me the answers I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I'd like to speak to his direct CO.
Well, I'm a sergeant, so I'm supervising the constables that are here in this.
So you're supervising all of them, even though they might be from
That's correct.
attachments. Okay.
I'm not from here either.
I understand.
So
I
we're from all
recognize-
over.
I recognize that there are all a whole bunch of different detachments out here
Yeah.
by their markings.
Yeah.
So I'm just concerned that anyone who shows up here, I made no aggressive statements
Yep.
towards the officers. I remained fairly calm, and then I was followed.
Okay.
I don't necessarily appreciate that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to suggest to you that you have rights, and there's processes in place that if you wish to file a complaint, you may do so. The OIPRD, the Office of Independent Police Review Director, download a form, and you can file a complaint with the OIPRD about any
It's very
interactions.
difficult to do that without a badge or unit number, and I don't
You
know
still
if I
can.
necessarily-
You still can do that.
I realize that, but how far is the investigation going to go? If there is no record that they were ordered to necessarily pursue me, they just did it on their own initiative.
I can't speak to the processes of the OIPRD.
I understand.
Our policy is that if somebody is displeased with something,
You
an
direct
action
them
of the,
towards
we direct
I
them to
know.
the OIPRD.
But I'm just, for there to be actual specific action, I'm going to need either a last name or some sort of identification number.
Okay.
I don't,
Did you get markings on the vehicle? Can you tell me what the vehicles are? Because there's lots of different
So-
kinds. So
And how have I threatened the well-being or safety of anybody here?
While you're arbitrarily videotaping, drivers are concerned, you're videotaping people that are on transit system that may not want to be videotaped.
And I'm not sure how that impacts me.
Well, it's just concern for their rights as well, right?
What are their rights?
If they don't want to be videotaped when they're on a facility
Can you
controlled
point-
by the region.
Can you point that out to what maybe
I
either
don't have an article number for that. I could probably do some research.
there's no such thing as you have no reasonable expectation of privacy in public. The Ontario Court of Appeals have upheld that, and the Supreme Court of Canada a number of times have upheld that. So I don't know what you think you can do to abridge my civil liberties because their feelings are hurt. I can't go into your house, that's private. I can't go into a bathroom because people would have a reasonable expectation for privacy in a change room in a bathroom. But when we are standing on a sidewalk, when we are standing on property that is owned by the region,
It's the lawyering aspect, right? About how much time you can be staying here. I mean, the purpose of being here obviously is to obtain and receive public transportation.
that's a primary focus, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, people don't normally stand here in one spot and audio and video record other people. So then we're falling into the rules and regulations that we may have for loitering.
If I could make two suggestions for what they're worth.
yeah.
First suggestion, if you are interested in finding out what just happened, pop in there, just ask for what two officers just came back. I'm 80% positive it was those two officers. And just ask them what was up. Was I doing something suspicious? Like what was the, why did they jump into their units immediately as soon as they saw me get into my vehicle and peel out of here to catch up to me just to run my plate? Because what's going to happen now, I'm sure I'm already on a list now, and now I'm going to have to report in my story that I'm going to put together that what just happened here, and it's not going to make anybody in the OPP look good. That they peeled out after me just to get me on a list. They didn't. Fortunately, I was hoping that they would have pulled me over.
Yeah. Well, you weren't pulled over.
I was not.
Right. So.
Which is saving grace, but I was hoping that I get pulled over because then at least I'd have a name.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
they didn't pull me over, which was smart.
Yeah.
And but this is where the disconnect between community policing goes, right? I was just photographing. I wasn't messing with the door handles. I wasn't touching the vehicles. I had nothing on it but a single camera.
Okay.
So if I
Did
had
somebody approach you or talk
Yes.
to you about when you were
it
taking
was
pictures?
a woman, I believe she was
Okay.
a sergeant, and she came up to me, and someone who looked fairly young, so maybe the junior officer came out, and he was the one that triggered her to come out because he radioed it in.
Okay.
And they came out to me, they asked my name, I didn't give it to them.
Okay.
They asked me if I was with the media, I said yes.
Okay.
They asked me if I had any questions. We can go under this
Yeah.
overhang. I'm waterproof, but maybe you're not. So, I didn't identify myself, but I did tell them I was the media.
Okay.
Again, if I had a can of spray paint or a rock in my hand, making sure there were officers stationed out here watching me to make sure I wasn't going to vandalize is absolutely reasonable. With a camera, quietly, no sign, I wasn't demonstrating any disorderly conduct, no disco, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering.
Well, certainly you have to appreciate our point of view that if we see people taking pictures of police property, we're going to certainly ask the question.
I have no
'Cause
problem with
That is
that.
not something that's
And
typical.
I also had no problem with the 2 officers that stood out here for the 10, 15 minutes while I was doing that. I didn't try to intimidate them by showing a camera in
And
their
they
face.
did not intimidate you?
They did nothing wrong.
Okay.
They stood here.
Okay.
They just discussed amongst themselves.
Sure.
Eventually, when they saw that I wasn't going to let them see which car I got into,
Yeah.
they went in behind the tinted glass, and I could see them sitting there waiting to spot me getting into my vehicle. As soon as I opened my door, one officer came out. I pulled up. They couldn't see my plate because it was parked quite far away. That's when they got in their vehicles and pulled out.
Yeah, so you've been asked to leave.
And that's fine. And
So you'll have to leave.
I don't.
Trespass the Property Act. You
Okay.
have to identify yourself.
I don't.
And if you
I.
refuse to
This is
identify,
this.
I'm
Hey, be
able,
quiet. Be
under
quiet. Be quiet.
Sorry,
I'm gonna run
speaking.
this. Okay, you
Under the
speak.
Trespass the Property Act, I have authority to place you under arrest until you provide your name.
Okay, dokie. I'll send you a little snippet plus the whole video. You can see her saying, "What is your dead name? What is your dead name?" Do you know? I get that you've never been trained on it, Mohammed.
Interrupt you here. I don't want to visit that conversation if it did take place. I'm just saying I didn't witness it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Your video and audio recording it. So
Yeah,
I didn't put
but that
myself
doesn't.
on
You not witnessing it doesn't mean it didn't happen, and it doesn't mean that that I can't be offended by it. I realize that. I am allowed to be offended by something you didn't personally witness. One of your colleagues was extremely disrespectful, intentionally and disingenuously was using terms that are offensive to get a rise out of me. And now you're being offended because I'm getting a rise out of it. She's the one who triggered it. Well, then ask her to stand on the other side of the car. I don't have a problem with this guy. If she wants to go stand over there, watch his back, that's fine. He's done nothing or said nothing to me. Have him watch me while you do whatever you got to do. Yeah, that's fine. But I'm allowed to be here. Trespass to property does not apply. This is a public organization that receives $55 million a year from all of us. To trespass me, I have to be, first of all, there's a bunch of different requirements the Crown needs to establish to get it, to secure it. I realize that.
This is a corporation, St. Catherine's Transit, it's a corporation.
No, this is run by the Niagara Region Transit Commission.
Yeah, it's under a corporation, just like the
Yeah.
city's under the corporation of St. Catherine's.
And it's a public organization, it's a public entity. So, I mean, I'm allowed to be here, I'm allowed to film. They can't abridge my right, short of me committing disco, being intoxicated, mischief. If I'm damaging the property, then they can ask me to leave. But guess what? This organization, the City of St. Catharines, Niagara Region, can't abridge my civil liberties. Just because they don't like me talking about their hostile architecture, they can't say, you know what, we only want to look good, we're not going to allow you to film here. They can't do that. Look up Bracken v. Town of Fort Erie, 2017.
So they have deemed that they don't want that behavior on this property.
Well, they can't do it. They can't do it.
What I'm saying is,
Hey,
so
okay, give me a TPA. Give me a TPA.
Well, I don't want to.
Well, but I need standing to take this to court. I am not leaving until you cut me a citation for trespass.
Issue a complaint.
I don't have
to the
standing.
St. Catherine's Transit.
And it goes nowhere. It's not St. Catherine's Transit. It's not Region. I realize it's new. It's only about a year old.
Well, it can be trespassed from an area for numerous reasons. Okay. Now, if they
For filming?
Well, I don't know if they have.
This is Charter 2B material. This is 2B all the way.
Okay.
So if you want to charge me, if you guys want to give me a TPA and say we don't like you filming, or sorry, we're just following the rules of some private corporation, not a private corporation, but if you want to pretend that's a private corporation, that they don't receive any of our tax money through a special levy. Yeah, a considerable amount. Like a third of what you guys get. That's a lot.
So
I'm not leaving until I get a
we'll
TPA.
find out where his direction came from.
Yeah.
So here's another time you're.
And that was City of St. Catharines property. So how come I wasn't picked up with trespassing or?
Because I didn't want to trespass.
Well, because you couldn't. I was on.
You know what?
It's like me standing on a sidewalk. You
Here's
can't pick
here's
me up
the
on
thing. Here's the
trespass.
thing. Sometimes people don't like having the cameras pointed at them.
Most people don't like having a camera pointed at them.
Yeah.
You guys are probably
So-
uncomfortable with it, but you're dealing with it.
The people that were getting off the bus just weren't as curt with you as the people that were in front of Startman. Right?
Yes.
These people, instead of telling you exactly
But
what they thought,
you guys aren't
decided to
feeling
complain.
police. You guys are law enforcement,
Well,
not
that's what I'm
feelings
telling you.
enforcement.
I'm letting you.
I know.
I'm letting you know exactly what people thought of your behavior.
That's fine.
Okay.
They can think that all they want.
So they complained to the management here, and, the management has asked you to leave, and you've refused to leave.
Let's give me a trespass of property.
So,
yeah.
It wasn't the filming; it's the fact that staff and customers.
I mean, this
complain
is
about
gold.
Being filmed by you unwanted.
This is gold. Well, I'm so happy to depose them in the lead up to this civil lawsuit. I'm more than happy to get them to say that in a deposition. So let's give me a trespass to property, and then I'll just take it up with the court. Because unless you guys, like, you can't abridge my civil liberties. Niagara Region Transit Commission doesn't usurp the charter because of feelings.
Well,
like the idea that someone's feelings limit my charter rights is ridiculous.
This is their property.
And what if I was standing over there and someone on a bus, if I was staying on that little sidewalk there, but their feelings are offended.
It's a street. I'm not.
But it's the city of St. Catharines.
You're not getting charged with offending people.
But the city of St. Catharines owns that.
For failing to leave a premise, section 2(1)(b) under the trespass.
I know the TPA.
Okay.
But what
that's
if?
what's
But the city of
happening.
St. Catharines can make the same claim.
If you wanted a ticket, you can give me a ticket.
Let's do it.
One of the things I try to remind my viewers often is that it is more difficult, more timely, and now more expensive to become a hairstylist in the province of Ontario than it does to be a police officer. The police services are so desperate in Ontario. They've actually made the police academy, the training necessary, free. They aren't taking the best of the best. They're taking literally anyone who will apply. Anyone who either was an absolute bully in school or too stupid to do any other job. That's who we are recruiting in the police services.
Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, officer?
No, I'm asking you a question.
And I answer, I'm taking pictures. Okay. Actually, let me be as accurate as possible. I'm not taking pictures, I'm taking video.
Okay.
So what's up? I mean, I get you out a question, you asked me, I answered. Is this consensual? Are we done?
Well, you're still on private property.
So where I'm standing is where I'm legally allowed to be.
Yep. Just be careful. This is the roadways.
The last officer who I spoke to came out. He and I had a conversation just over there, feet from where we are now, and he himself pointed out that nobody has a reasonable expectation of privacy in public. So there's no provincial offense for loitering, and there's no criminal code. In 2019, the criminal code, I know, it's a bylaw for the city of St. Catharines. That's fine. And just to let you know, the bylaw offense for loitering is 2007-295. So feel free to include that on any information you swear out or on a bylaw notice that you issue. To do that, I'd have to be on private property. This isn't private property. Again, we're going back to that. This is your first day. I appreciate everybody has a first day on the job. So this is first week, that's fine. So this is public property, as you should.
So you've been directed by security. So when
This is, you were offended when I cut you off, now you're cutting me off. This is public property. It received $55 million from the region last year. It's set to receive the same this year. I am recording a segment here about hostile architecture. You're interrupting me. They don't want me here because they don't want people to know what this commission is doing. That's why you're here. I appreciate you are a sheep and just following orders, but I am here. I'm not rising to the level of disco. I've committed no provincial or federal offense, so I'm going to remain here. Yeah, trespass, but I have implied right of access to be here. Thank you. This will be a quick up and down settlement with the Niagara Regional Transit Commission. Unfortunately, it comes at the cost of all these resources and taxpayer money. I mean, it's going to be a quick settlement for unlawful trespass to property. So that'll be interesting. You can't remove me from this property without an underlying reason. I'm committing disorderly, I'm intoxicated, something along those lines. I'm none of those. I'm here filming. The region doesn't like me filming because I'm pointing out some of their oversights in the way they're designing their facilities. They don't like it, so they've directed this guy to scurry me off the property. So that's what I want to know, so that way I can take it to Jim Bradley, I can take it to the Matt Cisco, and we can address it that way, because I don't think there is anything that can prohibit me from filming, because a regional bylaw cannot usurp or abridge the charter. Flat out, full stop. So if you're suggesting the region can trespass me for filming, I would just love that bylaw. Get together, have a little scrum, get together, figure out the plan, get that bylaw, give it to me, that way I can deal with it in court. It's easy. Having worked for the Ministry of the Attorney General for a very long time, it's something that I can sort out quite quickly. I just want that bylaw. You guys are trying to scare me off. She's trying to use some crazy transphobic jargon to be disrespectful. What?
There's no scare tactics here. I would try to scare you off.
She told me she was gonna charge me with trespass to property, failure to ID if I didn't identify. I just need standing in a court. Right now, this falls short of standing in a court, because the minute I take this to my lawyer, the minute I take this to the Superior Court of Justice before a judge or a justice, they're going to say, I mean, you're not identified, they didn't tell you they were going to arrest you, your rights were only kind of abridged. I want you guys to go full on and say, because you're filming, which is a constitutionally protected activity, because you're filming, we are going to take you into custody. I just want to hear those sweet magic words. That's it. Regional bylaw number, blah, blah, blah. We're going to arrest you if you don't leave. We have standing now. We have cause to arrest you. I'll take it. I'll leave. If you guys want to tell me that if you don't leave right now, we're going to charge you a trespass, we're going to detain you, I'll leave.
You don't need to detain you.
I know. You're gonna cite me. It's cite and release. But if you guys want to cite me, saying, guess what? Here's your official violation, your TPA violation.
Yep.
I'll take it. That gives me standing to sue you guys, the NRTC, and commissionaires. That's fine. But I don't want that. You don't want that. I don't want to cost taxpayers money. I know you say this is a private corporation, but this isn't Walmart. This isn't Microsoft.
No, it is a business.
It is a business.
It is a premise.
It is,
and the owners of the property.
For what? Why are they excluding me? What is the cause for them to exclude me?
They don't want you filming people
I've
on
implied,
their property.
but that's not a criminal code offense. That's not a provincial offense. It's not even a city offense. Whatever regional bylaw that they were talking about, or municipal bylaw they were talking about, I want it on paper, because nobody can find it. When I spoke to the city clerk for the city of St. Catharines and the regional clerk at Niagara Region, they can't find anything that prohibits this, because you can't prohibit me from filming. If I go to City Hall right now, St. Catharines City Hall, right now, stand on the front lawn and dance around, I can film all I want there. It's no different than here. Now, if I was walking up to someone and threatening them or getting in their personal space or damaging their property, then they can TPA my ass, charge me with mischief, disco. Yeah, I want standing. I want standing in court. And right now, I don't have standing. I could file OIPRD. I could file a complaint with the NRTC, which will go nowhere. The city of St. Catharines has no involvement, so they're not going to do shit. So I'm more than happy to pick up a charge, because it'll get tossed before it even goes to the first Crown pre-trial. So, I mean, what are we doing here? You don't want to spend time with me?
I like you.
I know.
I saw you on the
I know.
bridge. I liked your sign when you had it on the bridge.
Yeah. And I mean,
gonna stop and say
I
hi.
saw you a while ago in the Avondale. We were just chilling.
Yeah.
You were buying some stuff, right? So, I mean, we have a good relationship. I realize my advocacy for the homeless, not the taste for everybody. That's what I'm doing here, by the way.
You know that's my taste, right?
I know, that's what you, that's why, man.
You want me
Do you know
to
what?
stand more in front of the camera?
Well, no, but what I'm doing is, you
No, I
see these,
understand,
this is hostile architecture, right? You know why they do it?
Yeah,
Because,
so people can't lay down.
because they can't lay down. What about someone who's unwell? Let's put out the unhoused, which is classist. But let's say someone who's unwell, they have high blood pressure, they need to chill. Sure, sitting down will help, but sometimes you just gotta lay down, right? They can't do that. Those new benches over there, I mean, I'm big, so that'll hold one of me, but otherwise in a regular adult, you'll be able to get an adult and a half on one of those. It's ableist, it's classist, it's not cool. Niagara Region Transit, they don't want me here because I'm talking about this. That's it. The only reason I'm doing it is because people bitch when I don't move the camera. But
You want a forum in which to voice your concerns.
absolutely.
So the trespassing ticket.
Okay, dokie.
21B of the TPA, okay?
Okay,
Can you
perfect.
explain the options on the back, or?
No, this is fine. So this is a part 1 offense, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So Sergeant asked me for press credentials. It should be noted that no police organization in the province of Ontario issues press credentials. Bitch.